This is my grandpa Sullivan, who I'm going to be interviewing for my school project. First question is, what was the most important event that happened to you when you were a kid?
Most important event that happened to me when I was a kid. I was born in 1922. In 1927, they had the stock market crash and the Great Depression. It put a lot of daddies out of work, didn't have food to put on their tables, or clothing for their children, or toys for Christmas. It was a terrible time.
How did this event affect you and your family?
It did not affect our family that much, since my father had a good government job. He was a postal carrier, and he stayed at work.
How has school changed since you were in it?
When I went to school with all boys. The classes were very large, and we walked to school every day and back and forth.
Do you think these changes are for the better? Explain why or why not.
Well, the classes are smaller, and it seems like everybody has a computer, and you all are bused to school, which is an improvement, especially in the bad weather.
How has the government changed throughout your life?
The government has changed in a lot of good ways. We now have Social Security for older people, and we have medical insurance. Not for everybody, but we're getting there. But it's much better that way than it was before, when everybody had to fend for themselves.
What was life like growing up?
What was it like growing up? When I grew up, it was a lot of fun in those days, because we had no TV. We had to make our own fun, and a lot of things were done outside. We all enjoyed games and sports, swimming. We went down the shore every year. But I think the big difference is we didn't have TV to get in our way.
How is it different from kids' lives today?
Well, mainly because there's too much TV, I believe. And we made our fun outdoors, which is a healthier lifestyle. What
was the most memorable thing that happened to you as a kid?
When I was a kid, every year at the 4th of July, we had the 50-yard dash for young kids like me, and 3 years in a row I won it. That was the most memorable thing that I can recall.
Who was your hero growing up?
My hero was Niall Kinnock. He was an All-American football player for Iowa.
Okay, why was this person your hero?
This person was my hero because he was a great football player, and he was also a World War II hero who died in an airplane crash. And I even named your father after him, Niall. His name was Niall Kinnock.
What were the major forms of entertainment when you were a kid?
The movies and the radio, and sports and games outside that we all played.
Who were your favorite entertainers when you were young? My
favorite entertainers were the movie screen comedians Laurel and Hardy. One was a fat guy and one was a skinny guy. And all I had to do was look at him and I'd start laughing.
Why did you want to join the Army?
Well, I was in time of need, and I was a healthy young man, and when your country needs you, the right thing to do is to join up in one of the military services. That's what I did. I was proud to do it, and glad to do it.
I know you wanted to become a pilot. Why didn't you become one?
I tried out for the Navy Flying Corps, and I went down there. I passed all the tests until I got to the dental exam. And they found that my back teeth did not mesh properly. And the reason they gave me with it that this was disqualifying is because if an airplane went into a steep dive and you couldn't clench your back teeth together, you could pass out. So that was the reason I didn't make it.
What was the most memorable thing that happened to you in the Army?
The most memorable thing was probably going overseas in the troop ship with almost 10,000 people on board. We were stowed way at the bottom of the ship, well below the waterline, and just sitting there watching many of the young GIs getting seasick while I didn't. I'll never forget that.
How has the war affected your life?
The war has affected my life because I got through it all right. We won the war and I got out healthy. And then I used the what they call the GI Bill of Rights. And I used it to get a free college education, which helped me to get a good government job and be able to support my family.
What has changed most since you were a kid? Explain how it has changed.
Family life. In my day, my mother never worked. Today, many mothers are working, and I think it's not a good thing for the good of the family life. And beyond that, there's too much TV, which I think is not good for children either.
What was the most important technological advancement during your life?
To me, the landing on the moon was the greatest accomplishment, technological accomplishment of my life. It gave man reason to dream on about other accomplishments to be done.
Thanks, Grandpa, for your time. And that concludes our interview.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
You're welcome.